Morning, everyone.
Very warm congratulations to all of you on the 80th anniversary of your sangha. Such an auspicious day and such a privilege and honor to be a part of your celebration today. I just be working out and saying to those ministers, I think this is the only ACA temple sangha or church in which the minister is also the organist. Yeah. I don't know what else Jim, since they could do it for a service today. But she's everywhere, and so wonderful to be here and to see all of you. For my Dharma message today, I would like to take us back in time. So let's go back to the future, to 1946, the year the Twin Cities Sangha was founding. In 1946, It's a Wonderful Life was an Harada movie. I watch it every year around Christmas time. We kind of even kind of talk about the Buddhist message of this wonderful movie. In 1946, Frank Sinatra was the hit singer called Young People. Let's go up to 1956, the year of the 10th anniversary of the Twin Cities Sangha. Elvis Presley made his television debut in 1956. Also in 1956, the Chevy Bel Air. Anyone ever owned this car? You're ready? Oh, Dave, what a beautiful car! What a beautiful car! And in 1956, that was the Royal Typewriter. I added this slide because I understand some people in here have a hobby of collecting classic typewriters. You remember learning how to type on these manual typewriters? You have to press the key so hard. 1966, year of the 20th anniversary of the Twin Cities Sangha. Fantastic Four comics came out. I used to read and love this comic book. The Beatles' Help album came out in 1966. Let's go to 1976, the year of the 30th anniversary of the Twin Cities. Happy Days was the #1 hit show who follows. And the hit movie was Rocky. Yo, Andrew. I love this movie. I saw it with some friends. What a great movie of a Disneyland. 1986, the 40th anniversary of the Twin Cities Sangha. 1986 was the year I started as a minister. September 1st, 1986. 40 years in the blink of an eye. Who can forget this tragedy? 1986 was the year the Space Shuttle Challenger was tragically lost, with astronaut Ellison Onizuka in Hawaii and the first school teacher in space, Krista McAuliffe. I learned through someone about a year ago that, when we saw this explosion, the space shuttle itself was still intact. So they were still alive. And they knew that they would perish when the space shuttle, of course, hit the ocean. And someone I had talked to knew the radio operator who had the open radio communications with her. In those final sentences, they encountered to the earth. And I stay. And he's saying, I'm spending seconds in. And I said, she had a single, just simply said again, but it's amazing. This is speaking of my body. But that was event from 1996. 1996, the year of the 50th anniversary of the Twin Cities Sangha. In 1996, a gallon of gas was $1.23. It's cheap up here, dude. It's up to $6 a gallon for us in California. Dozen eggs for $1.11. And in 1996, Nintendo 64 was launched. 2006, the 60th anniversary for the Twin Cities Saga. 2006, everybody had a flip phone. Remember these? And in 2006, the number one TV show was American Idol. Taylor Hicks blonde, and Catherine McPhee was their Wenderpauer. 2016, just 10 years ago, the 70th anniversary of the Twin Cities Song Week. Pokemon Go was a big craze. I didn't really play this game myself. And Rogue One, the Star Wars story, was the hit movie. This is one of my favorites, all with Star Wars movies. I love the Star Wars. Which brings us to today, the year 2026, as we celebrate the 80th anniversary of the Twin Cities with a song. So looking back over the past 80 years, and cannot help but think of and acknowledge the many dedicated members and ministers who helped to establish and maintain the Twin Cities Saga over these past 80 years. And a great part of that history is of course, your friend Rod, who has come here for so many years. So we stand on the shoulders of our predecessors. Their efforts have brought us to this day. But the history, the roots of the Twin Cities Saga goes back even further than 80 years. It goes back 800 years to the founding of Joseon and because of Shibachami. And we could say it goes back 2,500 years to ancient India and Shakyamunis Buddhas in India and the beginnings of Buddhism. We stand on their shoulders as well. This is a map that shows the transmission of Buddhism. See that little white circle with northern India? That's where Buddhism began. And then it went to the north, into even Afghanistan, into China, Korea, and then it went to the south, Sri Lanka, across to Thailand, Cambodia. So over the course of centuries and centuries, this is the flow of Buddhism, and that's, in a sense, our roots. But to me, just as important as our past is our present. Without the present, there is no future. So all of you here today, present members of the Twin Cities Sangha. This Sangha exists and functions because of all of you today. You make it possible for new people or your own children and grandchildren to encounter the Dharma. I'd like to share a true story about a new family in the Las Vegas Buddhist Sangha. We have someone from the Las Vegas Buddhist Sangha here, Kathy Arpaki, and they can say hi to her later. But as a bishop, one of my responsibilities is to be the supervising minister for the Las Vegas Buddhist Sangha. See, it's hard to be the bishop. I'm 2 or 3 times a year I have to go to Las Vegas, or work. But on one of my recent trips, maybe about a year ago, I met a new family there. They're not Japanese American, husband and wife and 3 young children. And so I had luncheon and I'm talking to them. How did you happen to find us? Wife said, well, we were deeply involved in another religion throughout our entire life. Deeply involved now. And then one day she said her husband felt like, I just can't believe these things, she said. Not only can could he not believe in it, he felt like his whole life in them all what like. They said this was kind of like the Truman Show. You ever see the Truman Show and Jim Carrey? I watched it on the airplane. It was fun, Southwest movie, so I watched it. Now I understand how they felt. See, if you've been following the teaching, and you felt this is true, and yet all of a sudden, it's not true. That never since. Your whole life has been a lie. So they began to search under religions. But she said they tried every religion. but I think we're not you people. And they try and just mention the thing, the person they do. Then one day the husband said, well, you know, we haven't tried Buddhism yet. Shall we try Buddhism? And the wife was, yeah, okay, let's try Buddhism. And so he Googles Buddhism in Las Vegas. The Las Vegas Sangha is 10 minutes from their house. Hey, this place is really close. Should we go there? Okay. So they went to service. She told me, and the wife told me, as soon as she stepped foot into the Sangha, said Q, she felt something. She felt like she found her spiritual home. And it's a testament to the Las Vegas Sangha. And she would feel this way. Even before the service, before hearing this, she felt sound. And the service, beating the song out, affirmed all of that. Then very active members there bring their children. She also told me this story. A couple months after they got started, there was their daughter's birthday. She was about 10 years old. And they asked her, today's her birthday, we'll take you wherever you want to go. And about Chuck E. Cheese, you want to go Cooley, let's your kid. And then the daughter was, Ma, isn't today something? I'm going to tell you the same. Is it their service at the Sangha Center today? Yeah, there's service. Isn't there Dharma school today? Yeah, there's Dharma school. I want to go there. Who says that? Nobody's leaving out. If it's my birthday, I don't know, gee, what BCA temple should I go to? I'm gonna go play golf or in casino or something. That's the kind of families that are out there that are waiting to encounter Buddhism and especially our unique Shin Buddhism. Some of them is taken years to find the karmic condition which to meet them. That's why the Sangha is so important. That's why every one of our PCA churches and temples is so important. Because so many people are breathing to encounter our TTs. So Buddhism has so much to offer people to it, society, and the world that we live in. Maybe more than ever, there is the need for the teachings and the world that you live in. And so it is our responsibility to make our teachings available to everyone. So I'd like to reflect on the value of Shin Buddhism in our life. What Shin Buddhism offers us in thinking. And the first is the value and importance of listening to the Dharma. Listening to the Dharma. I'd like to share just a couple of true stories. I studied under a wonderful teacher, Professor Shiaki, I remember Dylan Baxmolos, who studied under him. And in his lectures, he would share these amazing stories of Shin Buddhism that he knew. And he told about a story about a minister that was like a real discoverer of Dharma. This minister had scheduled a Dharma gathering on a certain night. Sent a notice out to all his members, going to give a Dharma talk. That night there was a huge storm, and nobody came to the gathering. When he got home, his wife said, "Well, how did the service go?" "Well, I think because of the storm, nobody came." She looked at her watch. It's late. How come you didn't call over near? You didn't do the service, did you? Yeah, I did the service. And she said, "You didn't give the Dharma message too, did you?" I said, "Yeah, I gave the Dharma message." Well, she said, "Well, there was nobody there. And there was nobody there who was there to listen to your Dharma message." And he said, "I'm this. I'm this eye." Oh, that's a tremendous news. I can't do it. If I schedule a service or a class at say 7:30, I wait till 7:45. If nobody comes at 7:45, I can go home and catch the Lakers game, This minister, so don't misunderstand it. It's not like he's saying, all week long I put all this effort into writing this Dharma message. I'm going to give it anyway, even if nobody's here. Cool. And so I found he's listening to the truth and beyond his own words. Maybe he's even reflecting on his own sermon. I'm saying this, but do I get in practice this? Do I really live this? See, that's a real listener of the Dharma. I was really privileged to serve in Orange County Buddhist Church. We had some wonderful Dethog members and some real listeners of the Dharma. One was in Upland lady, her name was Sachi. And Sachi was a real listener. Always sat the front, never fell asleep during service, always listening. We didn't have service every Sunday at Orange County. Some of the holiday weekends we didn't have service. So she would go with her Christian daughter to her daughter-in-law's Christian church. And on one Sunday, she went with her daughter-in-law. And after the service, the daughter-in-law came out of the chapel. She said, "Wonder what that minister was trying to say." I didn't get the point of the sermon like Paul, kind of complaining about the message. And Sachi goes, "Oh, I think it was a wonderful sermon." And she was explaining, she's the Buddhist, she's explaining to her Christian daughter-in-law the point of the sermon. How is she able to do that? Because she's a deep listener. She can hear truth in a Buddhist minister's sermon, in a Christian minister's sermon, and be clear. She's listening and learning. The value and importance of the life of gratitude. This is a key teaching in our Shin Buddhist tradition. Modern psychology is now saying that grateful people are happier people. So who doesn't want to be happier? We think to be happier, you have to have more things, nice car, house, money. But to be grateful means to be happy with what one has. Jonah Shinshu has been teaching this for centuries. Modern psychology is Belkisa. Realize this is a famous rock garden at the Ryoanji Temple in Kyoto. Very simple garden, but very beautiful. Every 4 years, I used to take our high school group to Japan on a kind of a religious and cultural trip. For a typical group there, and one of the young YA kids came up to me and said, "Hey Sensei, so where's the garden?" No, this is the garden. This is the garden. It's so simple. You didn't quite get it the first time. But behind this garden, there's a little fountain that it goes. And the fountain, see that square hole in the middle of the fountain? There's 4 Chinese characters written around it. And that square is part of the kanji. And it makes this sentence. Wade tada taru o shu. Wade tada taru o shu. Which means something like, the only thing I know is gratitude. So the author of this statement is saying, I don't know much about philosophy, I don't know much about history, I don't know much about literature. The only thing I know in life is that I'm grateful. Is that by happy enough, by death forgiving. So that's the key. If we can say, just be content with everything. So why Toyota Camry is enough? What the BCA pays me is really enough. I shouldn't say this. The BCA president is Sidney Brain. Well, really, it's enough. My wife is enough. Well, that didn't come out quite good. But I really don't need anything else. Right? And the third value is the importance of self-reflection. It's not taught or emphasized that much elsewhere. What is the core of Buddhism? Self-introspection. Self-introspection. The great Zen master Dogen said, to study Buddhism is to study the self. You don't need a lot of sutras or texts. You just study the self. Shinran Shomi wrote, when I reflect upon myself, it is right. So that he was deeply self-introspective. So seeing the self is emphasized in Buddhism because that's the hardest thing to see, is ourselves. The easiest thing to see used others for the false component. So let me share one just simple humorous story about how hard it is to see ourselves. One day, I was after the service. I was in front of the BC window talking to people, and a member came up to me and put his arm around me, and he said, "Sensei, I need to talk to you privately." What? Some member wanted to counsel. So he pulled me way off to the side, or didn't know what he was, and then he said to me, "Sensei, your zipper is down." I locked down my zippers and you wide open. I was there talking to people, and he was so kind because he could have said, "Hey, Sensei, your zipper's down." But he pulls me off to the side where nobody could see, and then he tells me discreetly. So this is just, listen please. I can't even see my zippers down. And the zipper's right there. How much harder is it to see our own greed, or anger, or ignorance? That's why we need the teaching. Thich Nhat Hanh has a wonderful book simply titled Anger, and I've used it in my adult discussions. One of our members came up to me and said, "Reverend, my wife bought me this book titled Anger," and she said, "Here, you need to read this." He said, "It made me so mad." Got kiddingly. But it's hard to see ourselves. So we have so much to share with others, society, and the world today. And that's why each and every church, temple, and sangha in our BC is so important. We might be the first encounter for someone to find the Dharma, the teachings, and to be led to a life of listening, a life of gratitude, and a life of self-reflection. I mean, many other values of Shin Buddhism if you go into, but I just want to point out those three to me. And so that's why this present is so important for this fusion. Without you, there is no Twin Cities Sangha. The future members of this Sangha now stand on your shoulders. So may our efforts today lead to another 80 years of sharing the Dharma that here in the Twin Cities. Here. Once again, my warmest congratulations to all of you.